Namaskar and welcome to this exciting episode of Sathology Debunking Mythology. Sathology means science of truth, a study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, which is science or study of fake, lie, or imagination. The word mythology has been coined purposely to undermine the historicity of native cultures in the name of evidence. Like there is no evidence. But there is no evidence of many things in this world because people can easily Photoshop. It can easily be challenged. But the kind of evidence which is offered in Ramayana and Mahabharata about the historicity of Ramayana and Mahabharata is irrefutable because it is astronomical evidence, it is archaeological evidence, it is the evidence of the earth structures, geography, and therefore you cannot undermine that. Those places still exist, those kind of people still exist. Even the horses described in Mahabharata and Ramayana still exist because they describe about the different type of species of horses. So it's all been compiled in my books as well, and I've published them in my books. You can search Sathology on Amazon. You can check out those books. I have a very, very special guest and a very good friend who was also my host in India, and very important place he took me there. So let us welcome Dr. M.L.Raja. Namaskar. So, Dr. Raja, when we talk about the temple architectures of India, see the ancient temples of India or Hindu temples which are there have been known for very large campuses, very, very large campuses, and made with stone with intricate carvings. So, how do you think that stands out as compared to other places of worship around the world?
See, in ancient India, especially the kings, they constructed their palaces with bricks, but the temples with stones, because they think they are mortal. The kings are mortal. So for them, bricks are sufficient. But God is immortal. So it should be permanent. So it should live long. It should last long. So they made it in a stone. And why the temples in India, especially in Tamil Nadu, the area is huge means it is not only the temples is not a place for worship alone, worship the Almighty alone. It is the center for education. It is the center for relaxation of the people. Arts and dance will be there. Bharatanatyam will be there in that. And also the sculpture and drawings. And also it is the storehouse of grains. So when there is a famine or a flood, the king used to store grains in that. It is a storehouse. And it is also a Nyaya Sthala, that is where judgment is given. So many conflicts with the local people, small petty things, it will be here, there, and the judgment will be passed. So it is a social center. It is not alone. It is definitely the main thing is worship of the Almighty, but it doesn't end with that. It is a social center where learning will be there, and economy will be there, arts and culture will be there. Culture, definitely culture is there, and heritage, and also this Nyaya Sthala, judiciary. Everything will be there. So it is a collective place for the central place. And also there will be many tanks. Inside a temple, there will be a tank, storehouse of water. So that storehouse will be full. Then the houses, adjoining houses, they will have small well. So from this, the water will go there. So it is also storehouse of water. So it is a multi-purpose social thing. That's why the temples are larger in India, especially in Tamil Nadu, and it all built by stones because the kings and the people thought it should last long. For that purpose, they constructed their own houses and palaces with bricks that will go away at a certain period of time. But stone will last a minimum of 1,500 to 2,000 years. For that purpose only they constructed in stone. So that is the greatness of the mindset and the attitude of our ancient Indians, and also how they connect everything with the worship of Almighty. Spiritual and material both are connected in the temple. That way it is very important. Very important concept and attitude of ancient Indians.
Very interesting, because the modern day, all the churches are also made with stone in the US. All stones churches are mostly made with stone. And in Europe also, churches were also made in stone. And that was the same purpose, which was that the place of God should be permanent. But the thing which we see in India nowadays, because of many attacks and everything, is that the temples have become largely the new temples which are coming up because of paucity of funds, less funds, and other things. People make with shelters also. And there are many temples in India which are not kept properly. And we visited one of the temples over there, and Sathology would love to. We need your support to renovate the temple as quickly as possible. Varadraj temple in
Yes,
Tamil Nadu and
Tirupattur near
Tirukottur.
Trichy.
So we want to do that now. So why is that the new temples that are being made are not made with such material? Like, what is the reason generally?
You told correctly the paucity of funds, first thing. That is the main reason, because in ancient period, the kings will supported the construction of temples fully, because Hinduness of the kings, they are Hindu, they constructed the temples. They not only constructed even Buddhist thing, everything, they Jain and everything they constructed, but mainly they constructed with the help of the funds from the government. So government contribution is maximum, and also people also in before 1750s. You see, the economy of India is very high level. The GDP of India before, and also international trade, export, everything, if you compare, uh, 300, 400 years, India is number one in the entire world. So at the time, wealth was abundant. You see, in Thiruvananthapuram temple, Padmanabha temple, still we are having abundant wealth in the treasure thing. So on this base, the rich people donate fully to the temple, because people are not poverty. But after the rule of this colonial rule, the economy went down even near 0%. That's why people also don't have money, and because of the aligned government is also not supporting. Anyhow, people with somehow they adjusted, and they maintained the larger temple. You see, in Sidambaram temple, at that time, this Sidambaram, that Dikshita, they went outside and begged some money from others, and they maintained the temple. That larger temple also maintained, even in spite of all hardships. And the construction of the small temple also, small temple, according to their level of economy, the people constructed. So when the government support, it will come like anything. Because of the no government support now, and also people are also now only for the past 10 years or 15 years, India is developing. Before that, poverty was there in 1950s, 60s, and India is a very poor country. So just to maintain livelihood itself is a difficult thing for them. So that is the reason.
So you have a presentation now, Dr. Raja?
Yes, yes.
So,
Shall I say?
yes, we can begin that. And then we'll continue speaking on this, actually. See, it's very surprising that India is becoming the third largest economy, and gradually is going to become the second largest. And every other country, people invest in their culture, but only in India, people don't invest in their culture. They invest in everything else. The other, if you mentioned the kings and other people, they sacrifice their life for building a temple. Today, people sacrifice everything to build a house. It's so different approach now.
Yes. One thing I want to add, say the spiritual base of India make it possible to survive even today. So now people are a little bit materialistic because of the foreign rule and also the influence of the foreign countries. But slowly this thing will change. India is a spiritual country. It is not a materialistic country. But the prosperity in materialism, though it is a spiritual country, is very high in ancient days. Now, because of that spiritualism only, India again rising. So people will come slowly to spiritualism. In another 10, 20 years, they will realize spirituality is the best thing and materialism is a secondary thing. So that people will realize once a country becomes spiritual, it will develop in materialistic thing also. That is the secret of this creation of the universe by Almighty. That we should understand.
Let us begin, Dr. Raja.
Okay. First of all, I express my wholehearted thanks to Sri Aditya ji and also the volunteers of Siddhology. And I express my wholehearted thanks to the professors, eminent personalities, and the beloved students of various universities. 265 universities in North America, they are listening. So I express my heartfelt thanks to all the students and professors and eminent personalities of these universities of USA at this very early hour in the morning. So I express my Vanakkam and Namaskar to one and all. In this session, I am going to express my views on the temple architecture in ancient India. How the temples are constructed, what is the basic thing in that construction, whether it is scientific or without any scientific basis, just like that they constructed, but that we have to analyze. That means I have to express to know whether it is scientific or not, astronomy and also Sanghu Sthapanam. That is erection of a Sanghu, a small rod. Why they are most important in temple construction in ancient India? What astronomy and this erection of a small rod, a wooden rod, played major role in temple construction. That is, I am going to express in this session. This is a temple, a village temple in my village. Actually, my father only constructed this temple. This is a Mariamman, that is Parvati Mata temple. So Parvati Mata, Saraswati Mata and Lakshmi Mata are there. This is the Gopura. This is the front portion of this temple. So in India, especially in Tamil Nadu, every village will have this type of temples, beautiful temples. And this is the great temple, Tirupati. Everybody will worship immediately when we say Tirupati. Throughout India, they will, through their mind, they will worship Lord Venkateshwara. And this is the Ganapati temple in my village, small temple. So like that, every in Tamil Nadu, in every village, there will be a Ganapati temple. The number of Ganapati temple in Tamil Nadu will be more than if you put the whole Ganapati temple in whole of India. That much Ganapati temple is there. A village is there, means there should be a Ganapati temple. So this is my village Ganapati temple. And this is the famous Sidambaram temple, Nadaraja temple, where Nadaraja dances. And this is Mover temple. See, beautiful. Actually, 3 temples are there. This first temple was destructed by foreign aligned military forces. So this is a beautiful temple constructed 1200 years before with excellent thing. I have personally visited that. There is no Sivalinga. That is the worst thing. It is maintained by ASI. So these are all the temples. About just an introduction of temples in India. In temple construction, 2 important things are to be fixed before starting construction. That is the auspicious time, the good time for the beginning, either beginning of the temple, construction of the temple, that is Bhumi Puja, worshipping Mother Earth. So in any construction in India, even a house or palace or temple, anything, we have to do a Bhumi Puja, that is worship our Mother Earth, because we are going to dig holes and other things. So just we have to worship and pray Mother Earth. After that only we start. And Kumbha Abhishekam, that means the concluding ceremony of the construction, and making the idol made of stone as a deity. How we made, that is a science. And another important thing is fixing the directions, mainly 8 directions, that is north, east, south, west, and the 4 in between direction, north, west, or northeast, like that. So this is an important thing. This is only I am going to narrate. How they fixed the directions, exact east. Here astronomy played an important role, and based on astronomy only, the directions are fixed in India and the construction is proceeded. What is astronomy? Astronomy is nothing but a branch of science that deals with the study of celestial bodies. Celestial bodies means in Sanskrit we can say graha or gola, that is stars, planets, satellites, comets, everything. And the phenomena that originate outside the atmosphere of Earth. Earth's atmosphere, beyond that, what is the phenomenon or the forces, gravitational force, extra gravitational force, what they are acting. That comes under astronomy. And it also concerned with the evaluation, physics, chemistry, meteorology, and the motion of the celestial objects. That is physics. What are the forces acting on them, how they move, and also the formation of development in universe, that is cosmology. All this comes under astronomy. So this is a branch of science, pure science. So based on that only, in India, temples were constructed. First, even now, based on this only, temples are constructed. So temple construction is based on a pure science, that is astronomy. And also it is based on the longitude and latitude that will be described in the detailed in geographical books text. See, for example, this is an Earth. This is equator, center of the Earth. This is 23-day and off Tropic of Cancer. This is Tropic of Capricorn, and these are all prime meridians. That is longitudes. We can say it is latitude lines. It is longitude lines. If we extend this into celestial sphere, then these are all longitude, celestial longitude, and these are all celestial latitude. But what in Western science mentions, suppose from this is the vernal equinox point, this line, this prime meridian, we will measure it as a right ascension. And from this central of the Earth, Rekha, that is Bhumadhya Rekha or celestial equator, we measure this line as a declination. So right ascension and declination, that words are described in Western astronomy, but in Indian astronomy also there is a word for right ascension and declination. Declination we call it as Granthi. And see, this is the vernal equinox where it cuts with the ecliptic of the Earth. So from that right ascension we will measure like this, from east to west, like that, and declination either this way or this way. This is plus, this is minus. From this ecliptic we measure as a latitude, and from the celestial equator we call it as a declination. So these are all the important lines. It's all imaginary lines. We cannot see any line on Earth. So this is the Bhumadhya Rekha, that is equator. These are all latitude lines. This is longitude. Vertical is longitude. Horizontal is latitude. And special latitude lines are, this is the equator, 0 degree. Bhumadhya Rekha. We can say Earth's central line. And this is Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree. This is Tropic of Capricorn. This is Arctic Pole. This is Antarctic Pole. Why it should be, we should familiar with that, then only we can understand. These are all parallel of latitude and longitude. At present, we are having 0 degree at Greenwich. But before 1885, this 0 degree longitude was at Ujjain in India. After that, in 1885 only, they changed to Greenwich at UK. So from this eastern, this is western. These are all latitude up to this. And why this is important means Earth is not in vertical. Earth is revolving around the sun in the ecliptic. It is in horizontal plane. Ecliptic is in horizontal plane. But Earth is not in vertical exactly 90 degree to this ecliptic. It is tilted. So not like this. It is tilted like this. This Earth is axis 23.5 degree. That's why this equator is cutting the ecliptic at 2 points, vernal equinox and autumn equinox. So this we can see. This is the ecliptic. We can imagine that sun is also going in another way because Earth's movement is applied to sun, and we can see that sun is revolving around the Earth. So this is ecliptic line. This is the celestial equator. It cut at 2 points. This is vernal equinox. This is autumn equinox. This is the north ecliptic pole. Ecliptic 90 degree. This is south 90 degree. This way, south ecliptic pole. Like this, it will be there. Earth is tilted 23.5 degree. This is north celestial pole. That is north ecliptic pole. So ecliptic pole is here, celestial pole is here. So it makes a 23.5 degree angle. So this is vernal equinox. This is autumn equinox. Because ecliptic is like that horizontal, celestial equator is tilted like this. That we should understand. So these are all basic astronomy we should understand before going to the subject. In fixing the direction, usually we will think based on a magnet, because always the magnet will be north-south. So based on magnet, we can fix easily north and south direction. What is there? In ancient India, they would have used magnet, but there is a difficult problem in using magnet to find out exact direction. Why? Because this north magnetic pole is 1,400 kilometers from the geographic north pole. Geographic north pole is different and north magnetic pole is different. In the same way, south magnetic pole also different, 2,752 kilometers from the geographic south pole. You can see in the globe what we will teach in the school. This is the geographic north pole, but magnetic north pole will be here. So it won't definitely exactly point to exact north of this geographic pole, but this magnetic pole only. So direction will be changed. See, this is geographic north pole. This is magnetic north pole. You can see the difference. Exactly, this is the geographic north pole. Magnetic pole, north pole is deviated to such an extent. It is not only deviation, it constantly changes. So in 1996, it was 1831, it was here, 1904. In 1948, the North Magnetic Pole in Canada, Northern Canada. So in 2001 here. So it changes. Every day, every year it changes. So we cannot fix just exactly. So this is the difference. So we can calculate how much degree we can change. No, that also not possible. Because it is in this year, it may be here, next year here, next year here. So we cannot exactly have a constant to add to the north magnetic pole or subtract from the north magnetic pole to have an exact north geographic pole. That it is not possible. You can see this. So during the 20th century, it moved 1,100 kilometers. So the rate of motion is accelerated from 9 kilometers to 41 kilometers per year. So that is not possible. And diurnal variation also there. So that is a difficult thing. So we cannot use magnet to find out exact north or south. See, in 2001, what is its position? In 2005, north magnetic pole, what is its position? In 2009, it moving towards Russia. So north magnetic pole, this is 2001, 4, 5 value. South magnetic pole, 1998, 2004, 2007 value. Value differs. So we cannot exactly measure what is that. So then how to fix in temple construction? Why this exact fixing of the direction is important in temple construction? Because most of the temple are east facing. The presiding important deity at the Garbhagriha, that is Sanctum Sanctorium, should face exact east or slightly 1 degree towards north. And many other gods should be placed in an exact direction. In northeast, this god should be there. In southwest, Ganapati should be there. Kannimula Ganapati, like that. Every deity should have its own place in the temple. So based on that only we have to construct. So in temple construction, deriving the exact direction is important. So we have seen that magnet is not useful. Then how to find out? This is using by Sanku. That's why I told Sanku Stapana. Sanku is a rod, wooden cylindrical straight rod, pillar or pole. Stapana means erection of the, fixing the cylindrical wooden rod at the earth. So that is Sanku Stapana. Based on that only we are fixing the exact direction. How? I will explain. See, this is in modern day they are using iron pillar. In ancient days, they used wooden rods, cylindrical wooden rod. So this shadow is there. This is at Ujjain. So this is Ujjain Ujjain Astronomical Observatory. Like this, the shadow will be there. See, shadow will be there. Like that, this Sanku. This is ancient days in Sanskrit is called Sanku. We can say either iron rod or wooden rod, cylindrical rod. See, like this it will be there. So how we are fixing with the basing on a Sanku or wooden rod, how we are fixing exact direction? So on an equinoctial day, that is when the declination of the sun and the local latitude are one and the same, on that day we will fix a Sangu here, one rod here. When the sun rises in the east, this shadow will be, we are making a round circle here with some radius. So shadow will be like this on the western side. So when the shadow cuts this point, this circle at this, we will mark it as a west. And in the evening, the sun will go like this. So evening, the shadow will reduce, and it will increase, and it will cut the circle at one point. This is east. So we mark it east and west. Even if it is some not equinoctial day or some other day, the shadow will be like this. So it will reduce and again it will go. So this we can mark east-west. So like that, even when the sun is in Uttarayana, the shadow will be cutting here and cutting here, exactly at the same place, so northwest. So like that, our ancestors in India, they found out exact north, east and west. After that, the sun declination is constantly changing. So it is constantly changing. So because 23 degree, 27 in 3 months. So in a year, it will change by 93 degree, 48. So even in a single day, from morning to evening, the sun's declination will change. So there cannot, if you join this, it cannot be exact east, not exact east-west. So they adapted another thing, that is Chaya Bhuja. That calculation is known as Chaya Bhuja. That is the difference between exact east, this is exact east, and this is apparent east. This distance is d. You don't bother about the calculation, but you understand there are scientific methods. Even Indian ancestors are very accurate. That this is r sine delta. That is declination of the sun. This is delta is at the morning, declination of the sun at the morning. Delta dash is declination of the sun at the evening into hypotenuse of the shadow. Hypotenuse I will explain. Divided by r cos theta. Theta is the local latitude. So our ancestors knew declination of the sun morning and evening and also local latitude. So that is the thing. And hypotenuse of the shadow. That I will explain. So based on that, they calculate if the sun is in Uttarayana, we have to make this d difference from here to here. Or if it is in Dakshinayana, southern direction, here we got to mark. And we have to join this west plus E dash. That is the exact east and west. So after that, we can fix, this is the center point. Based on a arc with a diameter of this radius or diameter of this. We have to mark one like this and here like this. And from here, we have to mark another thing. Two cuts are there. If we join both, it will be north-south. So that is known as fish-shaped cutting. Like this, it will be like this. And from here, it will be like that. It will cut here. In school days, we will learn this in mathematics class. Like this, like this. So we will join this. So this is east-west. And 90° to this is north-south. Like that, scientifically, the most scientifically, our ancestors in India fixed exact direction. These are all mentioned in, not, I am not saying myself. I have to thank Vadeshwara, the ancient astronomer who lived in India some 1117 years before present. Vadeshwara Siddhanta, that is an astronomical text that is available, published by Indian National Science Academy with original text and translation by Kripa Singh Shukla. He is a feminine scholar. He translated all the Sanskrit sloka. In the third adhikara, first adhyaya, in sloka 2 to 6, all these procedures were explained. So our ancestors knew exact method of fixing the east, west, north, south direction. In at least from Vadeshwara Siddhanta, we can know they are fixed 1100 years before. But it should be more than that. So in that way, they calculated. 0° is the local latitude. And I have explained what I have to tell about hypotenuse. So this is the sangu, that is rod or gnomon. We can say gnomon in English. So this is the earth center. So this is a vertical line. And this is the place. Suppose this is a place in California or Satology Center in USA, we can say. So this is the latitude of that place. If you fix a rod at that Satology Center, and on a particular day, it will cast some shadow. This rod will cast some shadow. So this is the equinoctial shadow or any day shadow. So if you join this tip of the sangu with tip of the shadow, that is the hypotenuse. So this is a right angle triangle, similar triangle to this. So this is the latitude, which is here, because it is similar, the same thing will be the latitude of that place. So it depends on the shadow, we can fix how much length of the shadow, what is the latitude of that place we can. So even we can calculate based on this shadow, the distance between two places. From northern America to a city in southern America, that depends on the shadow, we can calculate exact distance also. That much it is scientific. So we can see this sun is exactly for this place at zenith, that is 0° latitude. There is no shadow, either this side or this side. Suppose if it is 10°, this shadow will be like this. If it is 15°, the shadow will increase. If it is 24°, the shadow will increase. So based on the measurement of the shadow, we can fix what is the latitude. So if we have this right angled triangle, this is the sine theta. This is 90°. So what do you mean by sine theta? Opposite side divided by hypotenuse. So this is the length. So based on that only latitude. This is the latitude of that place. This is the latitude. So this is the center of the equator and the place is here. So this angle is the latitude. So here also the same. This is the latitude. That's why I have told. Just you can understand what is what. Don't bother about deeper understand. This is very difficult to understand, but I will try to explain whatever maximum possible. So this is the horizon of a place. So this is the place our concerned on earth. This is west, this is south, east and north. This is the prime meridian of that place. Prime meridian means we can say this line, longitude. Suppose if the place is here, the prime meridian is 60°. If it is here, it is 140°. 140° east, this is 60° west. Like that we have to understand. So here we can put a sangu or a rod here. It will cast a shadow here like this. And the prime meridian is here. This is the celestial equator, and it cuts the prime meridian at zenith, that is R. And at the mid-noon, sun will be here. So sun will cast a shadow of this. So this is yx is the shadow, y is the length of the rod, and this is the hypotenuse. Suppose if you draw a perpendicular line from sun to this horizon, it will cut horizon at D. So this is a 90 degree. Here also it is 90 degree. So these two are similar triangles. And if we see, when this is a line, this is also parallel line. Both are parallel line. If parallel line are cut by a vertical line, this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle. So this is the latitude of the place. That will be equal to this. This will be equal to this. So this is the latitude of the place. This is the latitude of the place. Both are similar triangle, not congruous triangle. Congruous triangle means the length of the side also should be equal, but it is similar triangle, identical triangle. The length will vary, but angle will be same. This is 90 degree. So this we have to understand. And here R is Z, this arc, this is the latitude, because this is the latitude and this is the latitude. This arc is the local latitude, and it is equal to this, and it is equal to this. So angle DRO and OYX and also ROH are all local latitude. Here triangle RDO and this are both are similar triangles. And this is RDO and YOX are 90 degree, and RO and YX are parallel. In the same way, RD and YO are parallel. So based on this, all these calculations, Indian ancestors knew it's some 2000, 3000 years before itself. All these basic trigonometric calculations, mathematical calculations. That much knowledgeable persons were there in India some 3000 or 2000 years before. So I have explained, when I explained the date of Mahabharata, how this bow, arrow and string, they are converted into trigonometric sine theta, cos theta, vers sine theta, like that. I explained that. Just I will say here, this R sine theta is the Sangu triangle. This is the Sangu triangle, R sine theta. And theta is the angle between the Sangu. This is the angle between Sangu and hypotenuse, that rod and hypotenuse. That is the latitude. And we can say this is, what is sine theta is opposite side by hypotenuse. So this mentions YX is the shadow. So YX is equal to latitude. So like that we can calculate. R cos theta is R into adjacent side by hypotenuse. This is R into opposite side by hypotenuse. So like that we are calculating in modern trigonometry. Even trigonometry itself is a word derived from Sanskrit. Tirikona midi. Midi is measurement in Sanskrit. Kona is angle. And 3 means 3. Both are same. 3 is Sanskrit, means 3. So 3 angle, measurement of 3 angle. That only become trigonometry. And this sine theta in Sanskrit is mentioned as jya. This only becomes sine in modern trigonometry. So modern trigonometry itself derived from ancient Indian calculations. So these are all the things. So like this, latitude of R sine theta is 3438 into shadow of the Sangu divided by height of the Sangu and shadow of the Sangu. Because this is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is height of the Sangu plus shadow of the rod. So if you divided hypotenuse, instead of hypotenuse, you can divide by this. So shadow of the Sangu is the opposite side, and 3438 is the value of R. What do you mean by R? That we have to understand. R is a unique thing in the Indian trigonometry. R value is 3438 minutes of time. How Indian astronomers derive that? See, for a circumference of the circle, it is a 360 degree. So what is the formula for that? 2 phi r. So 2 phi r is equal to 360 degree. So if you divide 360 by 2 phi, the value will be 3438 minute. So how much accurate calculations were there in ancient India, some 3000 or 4000 years, much before the European Revolution. That we should understand. So where this r sin theta value are given, we have to give proof now that our ancestors, Indian ancestors know, means we have to give proof for this r sin theta value from 3 degree 45 minute to 90 degree. It is given by Aryabhatta in Aryabhattiyam. Modern people say it is 1500 years more old, but my calculation is more than 4700 years. And Surya Siddhanta is much earlier than Aryabhatta. That also give in this second Adhyaya. Here in Sloka 11 and 12 of the second Adhyaya, Ganitha Pada, it is given. So this is the value I have taken from the book. So in India, some at least 1500 or 2000 years before itself, the sin theta value were given from 3 degree 45 minute to 90 degree. The modern value is 3437.75 and the Indian value is 3438. See, everything, this is the modern value and this is the Indian value. You can see exactly it coincides. 225, 224.8. So there is any value you can see. 1718.88, 1790. So round figure they have. That's all. So is there any, I have shown evidence, literature evidence, Vadesara Siddhanta and Aryabhatti and Surya Siddhanta. Is there is any practical application? Is there is any proof for this deciding the direction using this astronomy and sun's declination, local altitude? Is there is any proof, practical application? Yes. In Tamil literature, I can show. Just to show Tamil letters, because I am from Tamil Nadu, I am some attachment to Tamil. So that's why I told. I have shown this. But this is a Nedunal Vada, an ancient Sangam Tamil literature, at least 3000 years old. It is a poem praising the Talayalanganathu Chiruvendra Pandian Nedunjaliyan, a Pandian king Nedunjaliyan, much before 3000 or 4000 years before. It was written by Madurai Kanakayanar son Nakiranar. Nakiran is a famous Tamil poet who wrote Tirumurugatrupadayan Muruga also on Skanda, and also this is on this Pandya king. In that, what he mentions Madiram from this 72-77 lines in this Nedunal Vada, an ancient, very ancient Tamil literature. Madiram Virigathat Parappi Velvai Mandil. That means sun. Irukol Kurinilai Valukadu Kodakkerpu. Irukol. I have shown one sangu. They have adapted two sangu, two rods. Irukol means two rods. Valukadu Kodakkerpu. The sun is rising in the east and going west. Kodakku means west. Orudiram Chara Arainal Amit. Arainal means half a day. That is at midnoon. Orudiram Chara. Either the shadow should not fall on northern side or southern side. So the sun is exactly at the declination is exactly equal to local latitude. In that only the sun will be exactly at the zenith at mid-noon and the shadow of this rod will not fall either north side or south side. It will fall on its own. So, Voruthiram Chara Arainal Amayathu Nool Ari Pulavar. Nool means that is text, architectural text. That is Sulba Sutra, that I will explain. Pulavar means the knowledgeable, or you can say in modern time, civil engineers or architects. Nunnidil Kairitte. They have put a rope on that to measure north south. They mark. Kair means rope. That's why Sulba Sutra. Sulba is a rope, that also. Teyam Kundu, that is fixing the direction. So based on that only they fix the direction. They even okay. They worship the god and Perumbayar Mannar Koppu Manai Vaikku. Because Pandian Nedunjaliyan is a great king. So for him, a great palace should be constructed. Like that, it explains. See, there are two wooden poles are fixed vertically at a particular distance between them on a place to be intended where the palace for the king has to be constructed. on a day when the declination of the sun and the local latitude are same in degrees of angle, which can be found out that if the shadow of the rod is not falling on either north or south, then the sun is exactly at zenith at that place at midnoon. So the declination of the sun and local latitude will be one and the same. On that day, the sun will rise exactly on the east and it will set almost exactly on the west. So based on that, we can fix east and south. That is the idea based on that. So I have given a practical application proof for this fixing the direction also. So Sulba means roof, Kairu means in Tamil means roof. So Sanskrit and Tamil are one and the same. You can see, understand. And Sulba Sutra text is Kalpa text. Sulba means rope. It is already written by Bhautayana Maharishi, Apastamba Maharishi, Katyayana, and Manava, and many other rishis. So I have explained this. So the civil engineering technique proves that the Indians knew exactly and thoroughly the sun's declination, latitude of the places, and thus astronomy and ecliptic and equatorial coordinate system in the remote past itself, thousands of years much before the European scientific advancement. We can understand. So here, astronomy, trigonometric mathematical calculation, and civil engineering, all three are well applied in construction of this palace for the Pandya king. So I have given a practical application proof for this direction. I have given literature evidence and also practical application proof. And is there is any still existing proof for this, glaring evidence? So we can see astronomical observatories at Ujjain, Jaipur, and New Delhi, Jandir Mandir in India. If you go there, we can find exact proof to that. And Angkor Wat, the largest Sri Vishnu temple in the entire world at Cambodia. And temples constructed still existing in, especially in Tamil Nadu and other states in India. These three proofs. With that proof, I will conclude. So this is the Ujjain astronomical observatory. Some of the constructions are there. This is Ujjain observatory. This is the sundial is there. And transit instrument was there. They explained all these things in this. I got personally there and I have taken all this photocopy. And this sundial there. This is the sundial at Ujjain. So there they have explained this in this. This I enlarged and put it here. And this is at New Delhi, Jandir Mandir. Anybody can go. It will be within the heart of the New Delhi. So this is Ram Yandra there. They explained what is Ram Yandra. And this is the exact map. They are keeping it at the entrance itself. This is the entrance and this is Ram Yandra and other constructions. Astronomical observatory constructions are there. So still they are existing. So it's a practical application proof and how we can, so it's a exemplary proof that this astronomical observatory and astronomical knowledge were there in ancient India. It is all these three are proof. This is the Jaipur thing, astronomical observatory. This is the sundial there. So these three things are there, still there. Anybody from come India, we can visit there and got explained with the local people. This is Angkor Wat. It is the largest Sri Vishnu temple, not in India, but it is in Cambodia, Southeast Asia. Here, the temple is like this. This is the Angkor Wat temple, Vishnu temple. Madam, she did an excellent research on that. I have to thank wholeheartedly to her, and I express my courtesy and with utmost thanks for utilizing this book. After reading only, I can understand that. Angkor Wat. Eleanor Manica, published by University of Hawaii Press in 1996. And page 19 to 21, she explained all this. She worked many years on Angkor Wat. And she explained all these things in this book, Angkor Wat, Time, Space, and Kingship. I thank her for using his assessment. And after researching what she told, If you measure the distance of various chambers in the temple in meter, it won't give any clue, any inference. Like that, 114.22 meter, like that, 202.14 meter. But what she insists, we ought to use the measuring scale of the ancestors who constructed the temple. Then only the answer will come. So in answer lies in understanding the basic. So assess it with their own scale. That is her way and ways. Their own scale and ways, not with the so-called modern method, which will not yield any result exactly. So what she told, we ought to measure the breadth and length of various chambers in cubit. Cubit is nothing but a unit of length measurement, where from the elbow up to the outstretched finger, we measure the length. That is the one measurement of 1 cubit. It is a one unit of length measurement. And it may be King Surya Narayana who constructed this temple, Cambodia king. Maybe his cubit, from his elbow to the tip of the middle finger, they would have used. 1 cubit will be around 0.43545 meter. And she measured the sanctum sanctorum, that is the Garbhagriha, the Moolasthana of the Vishnu temple, that it measures 13.4 on cubit, and 13.4 on cubit is the basic module in the second gallery devoted to Brahma. So see, measure, everything is in multiples of 13.4 on cubit, like that. What is it measures 13.4 on cubit? Why they would have adopted 13 or 14? Why 13.4 on cubit? Why just fraction? Surprisingly, you see, Angkor Wat is situated 13.4 on degrees of northern latitude. These degrees are called in Sanskrit amsa. Its value doesn't vary. Even modern thing and ancient thing is same. The ancestors measured that it is 13.4 and amsa from 0 degree Bhumadhya Raga. This Earth's center line, from that the Angkor Wat situated 13.4 degree or amsa, north. That's why they adopted this 13.41 everywhere, or multiplies of that. So that she found out. The credit goes to her. And another thing is, if you estimate the longitude of Angkor Wat in relation to Ujjain longitude, because on those days, Ujjain is the 0 degree longitude. So the difference is 28 degree 5 minute 22 seconds apart. So if you apply this also, we can find out more result there. And she also told that using computer simulations, Angkor Wat complex, the terrestrial placement of principal temples, are nothing but the mirrors of the stars in the constellation of Draco at the time of spring equinox of 10,500 BC. It is her estimation. And how we have to assess that measurements and the magnificentness of the temple, she adopted 8 points. I quoted this. So this is the very needed lesson Angkor Wat teaches. With that conclusion, she ended. So I once again thank Madam Eleanor Manika and her publisher. Angkor Wat on Time, Space and Kingship is the book. With utmost thanks, with courtesy, I thank the author and the publisher. This is the Angkor Wat temple. So where this knowledge to Cambodia came, it is from India. Because Cambodia and India and other places are culturally one and the same, even in the remote past. The king name is itself is Surya Narayana Varman, Hindu name. So that is shows that everything adapted from India. And another most important third proof is temples in Tamil Nadu state. If you see many temples in Tamil Nadu, at a particular day in the morning, at sunrise, the sun rays will fall on the Sivalinga. Not all 365 days. Either 1 day or 3 days or 1 week, it will fall. Like that manner they constructed. I went to one temple, Tirunavallur, near Viluppuram. In that, on a particular Palgunama, on 3 days, it will fall on the Sivalinga. And also on Ishwari Mata. at the feet of the Ishwari Mata. So these are all the few examples. In Tamil New Year Day, that's Chaitra 1, Sauramana, Kattur, Sankaran Koil. Sankaran Koil is a famous Sankara Narayana. Both Ishwara and Vishnu are in the same, one and the same. Sankara Narayana, Gomadhyamman temple, and Chaitra 2, 3, 4 in near Tiruchirappalli. Like that, Sitra month and Ashada month, Tirunedungundrathur in Chennai, near Chennai, and Shravana month. And Shravana month, when there is Dakshinayana, and Magha month in Uttarayana, same day, at Tirunarayur, the sun rays will worship Shivalinga. And Bhadrapada, Palguna, like that in Pushya month, like that many temples. Pushya month, especially Amavasya. Amavasya day, that is here sun, not only sun, moon are also come into some play. So for 1 week, in Tirunelveli Sri Nellayappar temple, the sun rays will fall on Shivalinga. So how moon also included in that. And Sivaratri, exact Sivaratri day only, Tirumurugan Pundi near Avinashi Coimbatore, like that many places in Tamil Nadu. And Taramangalam near Salem, in the evening time, because the temple is west facing, at 5:30 p.m., the sun rays will fall on Nandi. Then at the footstep of the sanctum sanctorium, Moolasthana. Then at the base and middle part and upper part of this building. Slowly the sun rays will move up. 2 minutes at each part. You have to enjoy that scenery. On Magha month 8-9 day. Like that many places are there. Tirunavalur, I personally went to this. And Palguna month. That is 23rd to 27th. I have personally visited there. And on equinoctial day, that is when sun is exactly at autumn equinox or vernal equinox, in Gujarat state, Muadera, that is Dharma Aranya, Sanskrit name. It is 102 kilometers from Karnavati on the bank of Puspavati river, Bhimdev, that is the place. It's Solanki kingdom, 1026 CE, 1000 years, nearly 1000 years before itself, it was constructed. The light rays of the sun fall on Surya in the morning on equinoctial day alone. That is now, if you say March 21st and another day will be June 21st, 23. What the history of that temple says, Sri Rama and Sita Mata worshipped sun god on returning from Ayodhya, and returned to Ayodhya from Lanka on the advice of Rishi Vashishta. So every place in India, they will be either connected with Ramayana and Mahabharata. Ramayana and Mahabharata are mainly concerned with Uttar Pradesh. But any state in Tamil Nadu, even it is Assam, Gujarat, or Jammu Kashmir, they will connect themselves with either Ramayana and Mahabharata. It is inside their heart, we cannot separate. And in Tirunageshwaram, it is a wonderful thing, especially on Kartika month, on Paurnami day, the moon rays will fall at the feet of the Amba, Ishwari, Pirai, Ani, Vanudal, Umayambikai, or Gujambige, Artha Chandra Bimba, Gujambige. That Mata will have one moon at her head, Artha Chandra Bimba, Gujambige. It is Sri Naganatha Swami, Ragusthala, and every year, Kartika month Paurnami at night 8 to 9 p.m., the moon rays will fall at the feet of the Amba, Devata. So they are telling Chandra is worshipping, perform puja and worship this Ishwari. So this is the temple, Ragusthala. How huge temple it is. How it is possible? See, earth is revolving around the sun like this, and moon is revolving around the earth like this. So in Kartika month, at Kartika Paurnami, the moon will be in conjunction with Kritika Nakshatra, and sun will be here. So if you see from sun, earth will be here. If Earth and Moon will be exactly coinciding with Kritika Nakshatra. So, sun rays will get reflected from here and it will be a full moon day, Purnami. But if you construct a temple exactly facing night, during night time, this is the western direction. So this is east. So if you construct the Ambal temple exactly east, considering the longitude of the earth, longitude at this longitude, and this declination of the moon coinciding with the Kritika Nakshatra, if you know all these scientific calculations only, moon's revolution and earth's revolution and its position conjunction with Kritika Nakshatra, declination of the moon and declination of the sun and also the longitude of the earth, all these values, if you know perfectly only, then only you can construct a temple that on that Kartika Purnami day, full moon day, the moon rays will fall at the feet of the Amba, Devata. Without scientific knowledge, with just like that, we cannot construct. So our ancestors in thousands and thousands of years before itself, they constructed like this, means they know all this astronomical data, calculation, astronomy thoroughly, then only they can construct like that. And another temple in Tingalu, it is a Chandra Sthala, that is Ragu Sthala, Navagraha Sthala Ragu, this is Chandra, Moon Sthala. On Palgunamanth Purnami, at sunrise, the light rays of the sun fall on Sivalinga. Sunrise in the morning. And moonrise will be in the after at around 6 p.m. in the evening. The light rays of the moon will fall on Sivalinga. See, both coincide on the same day. How it is possible? You can see this is Palguna Nakshatra, Uttara, the Purva Palguna. Now, in the previous picture, earth will be here and moon will be here from Kartika month. So, this come here. So that from sun, if you see earth and moon will be in conjunction with Uttara Palguna Nakshatra. That's why Palguni month. Why it is called Kartika month? Because on Kartika month, the Purnami day, the Nakshatra will be Kartika. That's why it is named as Kartika month. In the same way, in Palguna month, on Purnami day, moon will be in conjunction with Palguna month, Palguna Nakshatra. That's why it called as Palguna month. Naming also it is scientific way, only astronomical. So on that day, this is during night, this is west, this is east. So if you consider Shiva temple towards east, and also if you know declination of the moon, and also longitude of the earth, and also declination of the sun, and also what is the angle of this Palguna Nakshatra, if you know all this data, astronomical data only, then only you can construct and make it possible that sun rays will exactly fall on morning. When the morning, its sun rays will fall, and earth will rotate in 12 hours, and this temple will come here, so moon rays will fall. So you see the difference here, Kritika month, Kartika month, this is Palguna. So this is the temple. I have visited both temples. How it is possible? What is the scientific basis behind this? This is sun, this is earth. On Purnami or full moon day, the sun rays will get reflected fully from moon. So it is a full moon. But in new moon, only this part of the moon will be illuminated. This part will be dark because it is opposite to sun. So we cannot see moon. It is dark. So it is new moon. Like that, like moon will go around earth like this. This is one thing. And earth's axis is tilted, that I explained. See how this sun rays exactly fall at this place. Here it is a fall at an angle. Here it falls at an angle. Only at this place, that is Earth's equator, during March 21 and June 21, it will fall vertically at these places. See, this picture is more important. You see, in equinoctial day, that is March 21st and September, sorry, not June, it is September. Please correct it if I am wrong. September 26th, this is vernal equinox, this is autumn equinox. The sun rays will fall exactly at the equator. That is central line of the 0-degree latitude of the earth. But in June 21st, because earth is tilted, the sun rays will fall at Tropic of Cancer. But in December 22nd, sun rays will fall at Tropic of Capricorn. Cancer will be, Tropic of Cancer will be up. So here only it is vertical, 90 degree. That is the difference. So in between, either it will be in this area only. So this thing, our ancestor, Indian ancestors knew well. So they adapted the technique and built the temple. See, this is the thing. See, in North Pole, on June 21st, the sun rays will fall directly here. So there will be 6 months of daylight. Whereas in December 22nd, the sun rays will fall. So it is completely, this is Arctic Circle, you see dark. Here, Arctic Circle, completely with sun rays. Here, Antarctic Circle is dark. This is the basic one. In December, this Antarctic pole, that is Antarctica island, will be completely with sunlight. Whereas in June 21st, it is completely in dark. So 6 months daylight, 6 months night. So for us, each day will have night and day, but here 6 months day, 6 months night will be. So all these scientific calculations, scientific knowledge, wisdom, astronomy, everything, geography, everything, the Indian ancestors knew some 3,000 years at least. They applied practically in the temple construction, especially fixing the direction and also the sunlight falling on the main deity. That also they applied, so that people will enjoy that also. No, and sun has to worship the Ishvara and Ishwari. No, so that for that they have adapted all these things. So this is the most scientific way. Even if we want to construct our house facing exact east or west or north south, we cannot use magnet. We have to use this ancient Indian technique exactly to find out what is exact east for suppose California or Satalaji place. If you want to know exact east, you know the sun's declination and the local latitude of that place, coincidence. On that you put erect a rod, and if the shadow doesn't move, based on that shadow, you can construct exactly, find out east and west direction. And also we can construct many temples like that. So all these are scientific knowledge were there in temple construction. It is not just like that without any idea they constructed. They constructed with full background of scientific knowledge and technique. That is proved by literature and also practical application and present day civil constructions which are present in Angkor Wat and also Jantar Mandir and many temples in India. So this is pure scientific. It is not only the construction, even the temple itself is a scientific lab. That kalasa, what is copper thing we are putting up, but for that, and also how they are selecting the stone for the main deity, and also how they give the cosmic power to that stone and make it a deity. That and all scientific. That if time permits, in my next class I will explain. Now I conclude. I am Dr.M.L.Raja. These are all my contact numbers. I am postgraduate in MA and diploma in archaeology, and I am basically ophthalmologist and doctor. So with that, I conclude. I express my nandri, dhanyavadak, and thanks to Sri Aditya ji for giving me the great opportunity to explain all these things, and also the volunteers of Satalaji, and also the professors, eminent scholars, and students, beloved students of various PSA universities. They are listening patiently at this morning hour. I wholeheartedly express my thanks to them. Thank you, Aditya ji.
No, thank you so much. One thing really strikes out, the Hindu temples are so scientifically designed in terms of directions and also in terms of usage. And one thing you did not cover maybe, that the surrounding the temple was the entire marketplace. Like there was a doctors over there, there were shops over there, which are still there in many parts. So like the temple was the center of the town, main street, you can call it. Of the town. The main street concept has gone away from US. It's still existing in Europe, but generally in US is not there because the supermarket chains have come in. There's one very good friend of mine who lives in New Zealand. I don't know where is he right now. He told me that temples were replaced by shopping malls. People invest crores of rupees in shopping malls, so it makes them money. But if people were to invest that kind of money in temples and build the surrounding areas around the temple, then they might make more profit actually. Because anyway,
Yes,
people will go to the
temples are not only spiritual center, it is a social center and culture center,
cultural center. That's right.
education center, everything in one thing.
Like in Mahabharata and other places, there is a small reference I read actually in Mahabharata that even the clinics were around the temple, Vaidya,
Hmm.
around the temple. People go there, get their health check done, and then they come out. And the Nasik Kriya, which was for vaccination, which was also there in ancient India, and which was also around the temple. So it was not just a place of worship, it was a place of culture, arts, education, social change, discussions. All those things are around the
Even judiciary is
city was
within the temple only.
within the temple.
Hmm.
So all those things have been replaced in the colonial attacks on India by Islamic invaders as well as Christian invaders.
We have actually lost the vision of our ancestors in India.
Yeah, a large extent. In the wild rush of building a new industrial India on par with the West, we forgot that we can do better than them. India can do better than them.
In a hastiness to copy Western world, we lost what we have, the treasure.
Exactly.
We lost the diamond in chasing some stones like that only.
Exactly. Yeah. No. So thank you so much. And people say industrialization brings peace. No, industrialization has brought pollution as well as excessive amount of concentration in the wealth of in few individuals. And Arthashastra says it very clearly. Kautilya's Arthashastra says that to spread the wealth, we have to use the temples. And Sanatan Dharma is the best institution to spread the wealth. It is not socialism in a way, because Sanatan Dharma is highly, we respect wealth, but at the same time, the wealth has to be spread, otherwise it creates social upheaval. Kautilya says if the wealth is not distributed, that it creates social problems, and which is happening exactly in the world. Like in USA, 1% of the population owns 99.5% of the wealth. So
See, in
0.5%.
temple and constructing the temple, everybody earns. In the whole society, whole town earns somewhere. In some place, some work job will be given to them, cleaning the temple and maintaining that thing. So everybody get their earnings, get their share. So everybody were happy with the temple.
Yeah.
So on replacing temple with mall, not everybody is happy.
Not everybody is happy. Few people are.
Money is not distributed equally.
That's
With
right.
the temple, it is distributed equally.
That's right.
This is social harmony and social peace will be there in India because of the temples.
Yeah. I think we need to bring back the culture where temples need to be constructed more at a bigger pace all over the country. India, at least India, we can do that, every part of India, because the temples can become the major source for help for people, not just for the outsiders. It's a major help for the people. So thank you so much, Dr. Raja, as usual. Wonderful presentation and very researched one. And also, I really like the quote you did with the Harvard, the Hawaii Press publication, and that was a good one. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaskar.